Imagine you're untouchable. You've murdered multiple people, evaded police for years. You're a ghost, a phantom. Law enforcement has task forces with your name on whiteboards, and you're out here living free, breathing the same air as everyone else. And then you get caught. Not because of some genius detective work, not because DNA technology finally caught up. You get caught because you did something so monumentally, catastrophically stupid that it makes you wonder how you managed to tie your shoes every morning. Welcome to the greatest cell phones in criminal history. Number 9, the traffic stop that ended everything. Picture this. You're Ted Bundy. You've killed at least 30 women across 7 states. The FBI has your sketch. Your name is whispered in evidence rooms from Washington to Florida. You're on every most wanted list that matters. And you get pulled over for a broken taillight. August 1975, Salt Lake City. Officer Bob Hayward spots your Volkswagen Beetle weaving through a neighborhood at 2 a.m. You run a stop sign. He hits the lights. You floor it. Bad move. You're thinking you're in an action movie. You're thinking you can outrun this small-town cop in your bug. Spoiler alert, Volkswagen Beetles top out at like 65 miles per hour. This isn't Fast and Furious. This is slow and stupid. Hayward catches you, searches your car, finds handcuffs, an ice pick, a crowbar, and pantyhose with eye holes cut out. You know normal road trip supplies. Your excuse? You were at a drive-in movie, and these are just things you keep around. Sure, Ted. And I keep a full surgical kit in my trunk for emergency appendectomies. That traffic stop, that routine, mundane traffic stop cracked open your entire murder spree. All those years of meticulous planning undone because you couldn't drive straight and had the self-preservation instincts of a lemming. Number 8, the parking ticket special. You're David Berkowitz, son of Sam. You've terrorized New York City for a year, shot 13 people, 6 dead. The biggest manhunt in NYPD history has your name on it. You park illegally near a crime scene. That's it. That's the tweet. The 31st of July, 1977. You're about to shoot Stacy Moskowitz and Robert Violante in Brooklyn. You park your Ford Galaxy too close to a fire hydrant. A traffic officer writes you a ticket. Just doing her job, completely unaware she's ticketing one of America's most wanted killers. When police are desperately searching for witnesses, someone remembers seeing that car. They trace the ticket. The ticket leads to you. Game over. You murdered 6 people and got caught because you couldn't find legal parking. In New York City, where legal parking is literally harder to find than Bigfoot, you decided that was the hill to die on. The irony is nuclear. You evaded the largest dragnet in NYC history, but a $25 parking ticket? That was your kryptonite. Number 7, the Dennis Rader disaster. You're BTK. Bind, torture, kill. You've murdered 10 people in Kansas between 1974 and 1991. Then you go quiet. Vanish. Everyone thinks you're dead or in prison for something else. 2004. You come out of retirement. Why? Because you're bored. Because you miss the attention. Because your ego is bigger than your survival instinct. You start sending letters to the media again. Taunting police. Asking questions. Playing games. Then you ask the dumbest question in criminal history. You send a floppy disk to a TV station, but first, you send a letter asking, can you trace a floppy disk? The police, bless them, lie through their teeth. No, Dennis, floppy disks are totally untraceable, super safe, go ahead. You believe them. You believe them. You send the disk. It takes investigators approximately 47 seconds to find the metadata. It's got your name, your church, everything except your home address and social security number. They arrest you days later. You evaded capture for 3 decades. You were a ghost, a legend, and you got caught because you trusted the cops when they told you technology was safe. That's like asking a shark if it's cool to swim in chum and believing it when it says totally fine, bro. Number 6, the shopping spree catastrophe. You're Aileen Wuornos. You've killed 7 men in Florida. You're on the run with your girlfriend, Tyria Moore. Law enforcement is closing in. So naturally, you go on a shopping spree with your victim's credit cards. Not just one purchase, not even a couple. You hit pawn shops, stores, bars, leaving a paper trail so obvious it might as well be a neon sign saying, "Arrest me here." You pawn a camera belonging to Richard Mallory, your first victim. You use your real name, your actual thumbprint. The pawn shop has it all on record. Then you're shocked, when police track you down. It's like robbing a bank and then using the stolen money to buy a world's best bank robber trophy with your name engraved on it. The credit card statements read like a treasure map. Every purchase, every transaction, every signature, all breadcrumbs leading straight to you. You could have thrown the cards in a dumpster, burned them, buried them. Instead, you treated them like lottery winnings and went shopping. Criminal masterminds, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5, the Edmund Kemper self-report. This one's special. You're Edmund Kemper. You've murdered 10 people, including your own mother and grandparents. You're 6'9", IQ of 145, and you've been outsmarting police for years. April 1973. You're done. You've killed your mother. You've killed her best friend. You're ready for it to end. So you call the police. From a payphone in Colorado, you call the Santa Cruz Police Department and confess to everything. They don't believe you. They think you're a prank caller. You have to convince them you're actually a serial killer. No, seriously, I killed all those co-eds. Sure you did, buddy. Have a nice day. You call back. Multiple times. Finally, they send someone to check. Turns out you're telling the truth. Turns out you really did murder 10 people. You turned yourself in. Not because of guilt, not because of remorse, because you were bored and wanted the attention. The cops were literally ready to let you go, and you insisted on being arrested. That's not even a mistake. That's a bizarre form of criminal self-sabotage that defies categorization. Number 4, the Richard Ramirez footprint. You're Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. You've terrorized Southern California for months. 14 murders. The entire state is gripped with fear. You leave behind a very distinctive footprint at a crime scene. Avia aerobic sneakers. Limited release. Very rare. Law enforcement puts out a bulletin. They're looking for someone who bought these specific shoes. Your response? You keep wearing them. To more crime scenes. You don't throw them away. Don't burn them. Don't even try to buy a different pair of sneakers. You're out here treating your murder shoes like your lucky Air Jordans. When police finally circulate your photo, you're recognized in East Los Angeles. A crowd chases you. An angry mob ready to deliver street justice. You get caught because you literally couldn't change your shoes. Imagine explaining that in prison. How'd they get you? My sneakers were too fresh. Number 3, the Joel Rifkin license plate. You're Joel Rifkin. You've murdered 17 women in New York. You're driving around Long Island with a dead body in your truck. Your license plate falls off. No plate, completely missing. Just a truck with a corpse and no identification. State troopers pull you over. Obviously, because driving without plates is basically sending a formal invitation for police attention. They smell decomposition. Check the truck bed. Find a body wrapped in a tarp. Game over. You had one job. Keep your vehicle street legal while transporting evidence of multiple homicides. You couldn't manage that. This is like trying to rob a bank while wearing a t-shirt that says, "I'm currently robbing this bank." The license plate wasn't stolen, wasn't deliberately removed. It just fell off. Mechanical failure ended your murder spree. You outsmarted 17 investigations but got defeated by automotive maintenance. Number 2, the Rodney Alcala dating game. This one's surreal. You're Rodney Alcala. You've already murdered at least 5 people. There's a warrant out for your arrest in New York. 1978. You appear on the dating game on national television using your real name. You win. The Bachelorette chooses you. She later says you creeped her out so much she refused to go on the date. But here's the thing. You went on national TV while wanted for murder. Not even in disguise. Not using a fake name. Just straight up, "Hi America, I'm Rodney Alcala, and I'm definitely not a serial killer, wink wink." Nobody recognized you immediately, but you literally put yourself on television during a manhunt. It's like playing hide and seek and choosing to hide on a jumbotron. When you were finally caught in 1979, that TV appearance became evidence. Your own quest for attention, your own ego, served you up on a silver platter. Number 1, the Gary Ridgway paint particles. You're Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. You've murdered at least 49 women, possibly over 70. You're the most prolific serial killer in U.S. history. You work at Kenworth Truck Company. You spray paint trucks. The paint gets everywhere. On your clothes, under your fingernails, in your hair. You strangle women and dump their bodies. And every single corpse is covered in microscopic paint particles. Same composition, same source, same factory. It takes years, but forensic technology catches up. They analyze the paint, trace it to Kenworth, cross-reference employees, find you. You literally signed your work, left your calling card on every victim. Not on purpose, just because you couldn't be bothered to shower or change clothes before committing murder. You evaded capture for 2 decades, and paint particles you couldn't even see became the evidence that buried you. All you had to do was wash your hands. Maybe change your shirt. Basic hygiene ended the longest serial killer run in American history. Here's the reality check. These weren't masterminds brought down by brilliant detective work. They were brought down because they lacked basic life skills. The universe has a dark sense of humor. It proves that cruelty doesn't make you clever. You can be a monster and still be an absolute moron. In the end, as they sat in those interrogation rooms, they had to face one brutal truth. They weren't outsmarted, they just played themselves. The ultimate deterrent isn't the fear of prison. It's the guarantee that you'll eventually do something so catastrophically stupid that your mugshot becomes a meme. Sleep tight.